I was a clingy chick. That's me. That's me. I'm the clingy chick when I get into a relationship. I'm really feeling you, like I'm all over you. We have to do everything together. I saw this one meme where it was a picture of a girl, crying, and this is after, her man spent 6 straight days where he said he was going to play with his fellas or be with his fellas for just an hour. She started crying. That's me.
Hashtag Mo gently talks. It's the clean theory. Clean spirit homes and lives when you feeling weary. The space is safe to purge and re-emerge. We hope you feel the urge on the verge to stay driven while looking at the lives of 3 dope black women. No topics forbidden, raw, bearing our souls. We got love for everybody, even some for you trolls. Talking life, lost love, how to get to the bag. The clean theory, Mo gently talks. It's the hashtag.
Welcome back. Welcome.
Hey girl. We back.
I'm Jen.
I'm Simone, aka Mo.
And I'm Lee.
And we are The Clean Theory. Thank you so much for coming back, guys. This is episode 7. This is going to be the second part in our new docu-series about what mistakes did you make when you were in your relationships. And if you made those mistakes, how to not make them in the future, or how to learn from your mistakes. I am DeVal Ellis said in one of his posts not too long ago, there's always a lesson in an L meaning a loss. And yes. I thought that was, that was great. He is great. Go check him out, and everything. At the end of episode 6, you said that, what's that quote you said?
I can't be your only thing to do.
Right.
Okay.
He said that I can't be your only thing to do. And that just segues nicely into our next topic, which is your spouse cannot be your everything. Your spouse cannot be your everything. You have to find some type of happiness outside of your spouse. I know, of course, personally, I was big on that. Like when I was in a relationship, especially when I was younger, like I clamped down. I was a clingy chick. That's me. That's me. I'm the clingy chick when I get into a relationship. I'm really feeling you, like I'm all over you. We have to do everything together. I saw this one meme where it was a picture of a girl, crying, and this is after, her man spent 6 straight days where he said he was going to play with his fellas or be with his fellas for just an hour. She started crying. That's me. Okay, that was me. That was very much me. And I remember my husband said this to me early on in our relationship. I mean, I can't be your only source of happiness. And I was like, damn. All right. You're right. But he was right. So.
Ain't nobody asked you though.
But he was right. So, I did a lot of growing up with my husband. I've been with him for almost 20 years. So I did a lot of growing up with him, and he's, taught me a lot. So that's one of the lessons that he taught me, is that he cannot be my everything. I have to find happiness in other things. And of course, 100 years later, that, that has come true. So I have many different outlets, and of course my kids being one of them. And what you got to say about that?
So I agree, like no one personal thing should be your everything, even though my girl MJB she be hitting the "You are mine."
Oh my God, that's my joint.
Everything. Okay.
Such a good song.
That's my joint. Okay. Anyway. Because I just feel like I gotta throw something in there every time.
Right.
But so here's the thing. Like I envy people like you and your husband. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got this like best friend vibe that y'all do, like a real heavy banter.
Hey, babe.
Okay, all those things. But I've always felt like me and my husband we were friends, but he's not like my best friend. Like I got my girlfriends, and I can't talk to my husband like I talk to my girlfriends, right? I cannot be like just cackling and like acting stupid. I mean, after a certain, he'll tolerate it for a little bit, and then he'll be like, okay, babe, where your phone at? Like, go ahead, go play with them. Like, and if I talk about makeup and hair and reality TV too much, if it's too girly, he'd be like, you like, you can see the blinds just shut, and he just be looking at you, but he not really there, right? And I just be like, it's fine, but I'm okay with that, because I always feel like your man is your man. I want you to be my man. I want to feel safe when I'm with you. I want to feel safe with my emotions and my heart. I want to feel safe with you. I want you to love me. I want it to be nothing that you won't do, right? I want you to go to the mall with me and carry my bags. But, you don't have to, and I do actually, because my husband used to have hair. I could play in his hair, but I didn't put like Borat's or anything in it. But I used to be like, play with his hair and stuff like that. But, you know what I'm saying? But I like to see people who are like best friends with their husband, and I'm sure at some point, in your elderly age, that's a lot of what your marriage is. But I feel like I have my girlfriends, I have my best friends, like I got that. No need to try to fill that void because I got you. I'm good with that. Be my man. Like that's what I want you for.
All you Sex and the City fans out there, you should know where I'm going with this quote. What did Charlotte say? When they were all in the cafe, they said, "What if we are each other's soulmates?" And our guys are just these really great guys that we have on the side and we spend time with. I found my soulmates.
Amen. Yes.
Yeah,
right.
I found my soulmates, and my husband is my best friend. So I have a rack of best friends. I have 3.
Yeah. For me, I am the opposite of a stage 5 clinger. I need space. Okay. I was social distancing in my relationships long before it was a thing. I'm as much as I love people, I am definitely a scheduled loner, right? So I need my personal time. I need to be by myself. And I've always found myself in relationships with men who was like, "Bitch, where you on?" Like what? I mean, I ain't never met no chick who don't want to be that. I'm not that person. So I've always, even though I didn't have that mantra in my head, I've always lived and operated in relationships where my significant other was not the only thing to do. I did not expect them to be my everything. But when I got older and I started to understand like the dynamics of relationships and how men and women work, or, how just people work and friendships and stuff, I learned that it's unfair to expect one person to give you everything. So like, let's just say this part right here. This is everything you need to be a happy person, right? I cannot expect one person. This is a lot of work for one person.
Yeah.
How am I going to expect that one person to do it when I can't do it for myself? Right. So you have to have other outlets and other things and friends and family, purpose, and writing, career, and creativity, or whatever your thing is. But that's a lot of pressure to put on your significant other, that you have to be the one, the alpha, the omega, the beginning and the end.
Don't forget the middle, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Because sometimes you're going to be in your relationship and you're going to be given all your 100%. But it might be today that you can't give 100%. Because you're tired.
Right.
Right. So what does that mean? You a bad spouse? No, you couldn't do it today.
Right.
Right. And then the other person's supposed to understand that. And then we just supposed to ebb and flow like that. But yeah, I need space. And I found somebody who needs space as well.
Okay.
I'm so happy about that.
That's
like we work well. He go to the basement, I'm upstairs, I'm writing, he doing the beats or he on the game, and then he'll come up for air and I'll go down for air, and then we do it all over again. Hey babe.
That's perfect. Where does that come from though? Where does that, for other ladies out there who are clingers, where does that come from? I understand the nurturing aspect, because we're natural born nurturers. Where does that come from? I need you all to me. Like I need all of it.
Some of it is fear, I think. Right. I'm not saying all of it. I think it's a culmination of your upbringing, whether you had a father, whether you had a close relationship with your father, you didn't have a dad, your dad died early, whatever, depending on how you had relationships with your mom, your siblings, those things that you learn your interpersonal relationships when you're very, very young.
Yeah.
Right. But I also think that another part of it is that society tells women that you only supposed to want to be with your man. Like once you get the man, F your friends, F your this, F, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be you and that person.
Don't be that chick.
Please don't.
Don't do your peoples like that.
Because they don't like that.
Yeah.
And honestly.
And you're going to need them.
You're going
to need them.
Hello.
And if they petty, they going to be like, go to your man.
Yeah, call
your man.
And then when you
I gotta go
off the floor, you don't want to be there. But I do think some of it is based on fear. It's like if I can't have you around me 20, it's like you trying to control whether or not they're going to be disloyal or betray you. And, you know, you learn later on that that's not how that works. But don't operate in your relationship, and even in your friendships, don't operate in those type of things out of fear. Because you're not even getting to the root of the issue anyway.
I was trying to figure that out. Like, where did that come from? Like, of course, when I turned 40, a lot of things, you know, came to a head, and I realized why I was doing what I was doing, or why I should stop doing what I was doing. But I never really understood, why was I like that? You know what I mean? Why did I have to have the person because, you know, Big Al was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any daddy issues, but I guess that's something for me to delve a little more into. But what you think?
So I don't know. I wouldn't characterize myself as clingy or like separate. What did you call it? Social distance. Like, I think I'm a you know, hot, cold person. Like, I'll just be like all in until I'll be like, I think because I'm not an only child, but I feel like I was raised almost like an only child. And I'm not saying that I'm, you know, selfish or narcissistic, but I am a little, like, I have those characteristics where I just feel like everything revolves around what I want to do. When I'm happy, everybody's happy. And it's just what it is, right? Like, I just do that. And I feel like my husband is really in tune to my feelings. And I am really in tune to his. Like, I tap dance around his needs. And I feel like to some degree he taps dance around my feelings so that I won't, because he cares about me being happy. Because then it feels like everyone can be happy in the household. Yeah. I think it just works well, right? Like, I want to be with him all the time until I want to be with my girlfriends. But I want it to be my way. And I am owning that, right? Because that is probably could be perceived as selfish again or one-sided. But I'm okay with that.
I think we should work to take care of ourselves in the relationship. But also, we should think about, if the relationship ends, how are we going to be affected by, you know, the ending of this relationship? How am I going to say? I feel like you don't want to be negative, like, oh, this is going to end soon, or, you know, I got to think about if we're not going to be together, or what if we're not together? You don't want to think like that. You want to be positive in a relationship, but you have to prepare for everything, especially if you get older. You have to prepare for everything. What if I'm not with this dude? How is it going to affect me? Should I chill out with the cleanliness? Because if he's gone, if there's a void, what am I going to do to fill that void? Right. And that's when things get a little messy. So I think, you know, we need to take care of ourselves while we're in the relationship. And if the relationship ends, you know, it's going to hurt, but it won't be so devastating that you just can't get yourself together, because that void won't be so deep. Why? Because you found other things, you know, to feel you happy rather than your man or your woman.
I think that, so yes, I have very low morbid sense of thinking sometimes. So I used to go into relationships, you know, preparing for them to end. And so I would often figure out early on, you know, how long it's going to take me to get over it, and what are the things that I'm going to need to do. Now, some of those things I didn't do. Some things I did that they were very unhealthy. But I think also for me, I think part of the reason why I started to prepare myself for the possible end of any relationship is because I suffered a death in a relationship. Like, my first love, he was murdered. And when you have that type of scenario, you kind of, you know, you just think, oh, you know, people are going to leave, right? And maybe I didn't think about it in such a healthy way, but I'm also kind of glad that I was able to prepare myself that way, because I was able to realize that in the relationship, that when things end, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end for me. Right. And so someone asked me, and babe, I love you. I don't want this relationship to end. It's the best relationship I've ever had. But someone asked me, like at the beginning when we first started dating, like, oh, like, you know, you guys have rap, y'all do everything together, y'all are so compatible. Like, I don't understand, like, you know, what would you do if it was to end? And I said, I probably wouldn't get into another relationship again because I've been blessed to have found love more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Some people die in their 80s, 90s. They've never experienced love. So the universe has definitely blessed me. But I know that if, God forbid, something happened between us and we just didn't make it in a relationship wise, life is still going to move and I'm going to be able to have other things in my life because of the fact that he is not my one and only. He is not my everything, right? Granted, I'm going to be on the floor and I'm going to be leaning on y'all like a motherfucker, right? But after that, you know, life continues on. And so there are plenty of young women who watch this podcast who they might be going through a breakup and you might feel like, I'm never going to get over this. You absolutely will.
Yes.
Make sure you have a strong support system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who don't have a strong support system. And I'm sorry if you don't have that.
Yep.
You have to be your strongest advocate.
Yes.
Sometimes it's 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll get through it.
Take care of your happy. Take care of your happy. We're going to table it right there. Episode 7 in the bag.
We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
For purging and emerging with us.
All that. Have you subscribed? That's first, right?
First of all, have you subscribed?
Have you subscribed?
Yes.
Subscribe.
First.
Like, comment, all that good stuff. We're going to see y'all next time.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hashtag Mo Gently Talks. It's the clean theory. Clean spirit homes and lives when you feeling weary. The space is safe to purge and re-emerge. We hope you feel the urge on the verge to stay driven while looking at the lives of 3 dope black women. No topics forbidden, raw, bearing our souls. We got love for everybody, even some for you trolls. Talking life, lost love, how to get to the bag. The clean theory, Mo Gently Talks. It's the hashtag.